Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, there's about to be a showdown. As you may or may not know, if you've been watching this channel for a while, I've been drinking a lot of Michigan New England style IPAs over the last year, probably like 19 or 20. I'm talking from bigger breweries like Shorts and Oddsides to smaller places like Drafting Table and Boatyard in Kalamazoo. I think some of the best, juiciest New England style IPAs that I've had are the doubles. I feel like they tend to be a little bit more on the juicy side. They pack a nice wallop in the ABV department, and they generally go down smooth as sailing as far as bitterness and mouthfeel goes. I can't think of a double New England style that I haven't liked yet. So in this video, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be comparing my top 3 favorite double New England style IPAs. So to introduce them in the order which I've tried them, newest to oldest, I have Witch's Hat, this guy, which is the lightest of the bunch at 8%, which, kind of sounds funny to say because 8%, the lightest, really? Okay. Next up is Roak's Flavorful 5, which is right in the middle, ABV-wise, by a hair at 9.2%. And lastly, not leastly, is Old Nation's Boss Tweed, which comes in at 9.3%. And this is actually the first time I'm going to be having this out of the can. In my actual review, it was brought home in someone's mouth. No, I'm just kidding. I had a small howler from Old Nation that I brought home, just like anybody else. If you're interested in any of these beers and want to see the individual reviews, I'll leave a link in the description below this video, and I'll have one of those floating video cards floating up around here, I think, right about now, and you can check them out there. So enough talking. Let's get crack-a-lack, we'll get into this. And what I'm going to do is I have 3 of my glasses here. I am going to, if you've ever watched, I have some other videos where I do comparisons. I don't have a whole lot, but what I do is I pour them out, and I pour all of them out at the same time. Then I smell each one, and then, I try them, and I'll tell you what I think of each one. I'll kind of come out with which one's my favorite. So we're going to crack open this guy first. Set these over to the side here so they don't get in the way. And I'm going to keep them in the same order that I have them now. Again, watch the individual review, Black Cap, Witch's Hat. And I'll talk a little bit more in depth in those videos. As you can see, we'll do haziness too when I talk about these. So that's this guy. It's going to be Roak's Flavorful 5. There we go with that one. A little bit more aggressive on the pour. And I'll just set them to the side here in the same kind of order that I'll have them in the glass. And I'll let that head kind of subside as I pour. Boss Tweed. This is, like I said, this is the first time I got it in can. I've wanted to do this video for a while, but I just couldn't get Boss Tweed. That's the one that I couldn't get. So when they started doing a little bit better distribution, a little bit more, then, it made it a little bit easier for me to get it and bring it to you guys. So again, don't judge anything by my pours. I went super aggressive here on the Roak one. These other 2 I didn't go so well. And okay, so we have Witch's Hat, we have Flavorful 5, and we have Boss Tweed here on the end. And just to kind of hold them up in the light, they are all super, super similar in the look department. I would say maybe Boss Tweed is a little bit hazier, a little bit thicker. But other than that, they're all pretty much the same, identical color-wise. Let's give them a whiff here. So this one I'm getting kind of orangey, tropical kind of scents out of. I mean, it smells really good, nice and sweet. This one I'm getting a bit more of a kind of a boozy kind of scent out of it. I mean, I'm getting the tropical, I'm getting kind of orangey on this one too. This one smells a lot sweeter though. This one smells like authentic juice, like orange juice. And Boss Tweed here. This one smells a little bit danker, a little bit more of a funky kind of scent to it. A little bit more of that kind of, I want to say like a garlicky kind of scent. So sweet, a little bit boozier, but still kind of tropical, And this one's a little bit danker, a little bit more of that onion. Let's just give them a taste. So this is this guy. Really nice upfront sweetness. When you swallow, you kind of get like, that's where you get the citrusy bitterness. When it hits the crest of your tongue, when it goes down, you get like a kind of a sugary orange juice. Like if you do it from concentrate and you don't add enough water, you get a lot of that kind of sweet citrusy kind of taste to it. And this one is going to be Flavorful 5. This one's citrusy and sweet, but a little bit more of a boozy bite to it, a little bit more of the kind of piney hoppiness, which sometimes with New England's, you'll find that they're either juicy or they're not so juicy. Okay, so they're really usually juicy, but not very hoppy and piney, or you'll get them where they're really kind of piney and not so much juicy. This one is like right in between. You get some of the sweetness, some of the juiciness. You get that kind of alcohol bite mixed with kind of that citrusy, piney hoppiness. And it's a little bit boozier. It's got a little bit more heat to it. And now we're going to do Boss Tweed. Like I said, more kind of onion and garlicky kind of scent. Wow, this one's a lot sweeter than I remember. Getting a lot of kind of, it's just a brighter kind of taste overall. It's very similar, actually, a lot more similar than I remember Roak being, the Flavorful 5 being. But this one has kind of the same characteristics. It's a little bit boozy, it's really faint, really, really light. Like I have to really be analyzing this to pick it up, but it's really brighter. It's not so much, it doesn't have so much of that hoppy, citrusy, piney kind of hoppy bite to it, but it's got a lot more of that juiciness. It's really very bright. A lot of like a pineapple juicy kind of taste at the end. It's very sweet. I'm going to compare this guy and Boss Tweed kind of side to side here. Wow. You know, I really like this guy, but it almost tastes like a bit of a muted kind of Boss Tweed when I taste them right next to each other. I think Boss Tweed is just so much more amped up. That juiciness, that sweetness is just a little bit more amped up there than this guy is. So it's actually kind of funny the way this worked out. The way that I'm kind of thinking of it, the way I kind of feel about it, is that this is probably like really high level sweetness. This one is a little bit more on the hoppy end, and Boss Tweed here is right in the middle. So this guy, a little bit sweeter, Flavorful 5, a little bit boozier, a little bit more piney and citrus hoppiness, and Boss Tweed is like, it almost has that hoppiness to it, but it's really bright, really sweet, and it's like it's a crossbred kind of version of this guy and Flavorful 5, which is kind of weird. So I'm just going to do something really kind of out of the ordinary. I have an extra glass here. I'm going to mix this guy, whoops, and I'm going to mix my Roak in with it. I got a little bit of a spillage going on here. Okay, whoa, making a big old mess. I'm curious, since I think that this guy and Flavorful 5 are kind of like maybe the parents of Boss Tweed. I mean, if you can think of it that way. It's kind of like Boss Tweed's like a cross between these two. I just wonder how this tastes together. Kind of get that juicy scent out of it. Let's give it a taste. Got foam all over my stash. One more taste here. funny, I'm getting like that kind of tangerine kind of bitterness from it. It's sweet and it's juicy, but it also has that kind of bitterness to it. And the back end, I'm not really getting the booziness that I would get out of a Roak, out of Roak's Flavorful 5. And it actually doesn't, when you mix them, they don't taste like Boss Tweed. So I think I still have to give the crown to Boss Tweed for right now. It's really close between these two. I mean, any three of these, if you go with this guy, if you go with Flavorful 5, if you go with Boss Tweed, you're not losing at all. All these are really great beers. I think just for my preference, I think I'd still go with Boss Tweed, and these two, it's not so clear cut. They're both really great beers, and they're still my top 3 favorite. Regardless of how this would turn out, they're still going to be my favorite. But I think if you can find Boss Tweed, that's going to be, for me, that's going to be the mountaintop. And then the next like plateau, the ridge, is going to be either Flavorful 5 or this guy from Witch's Hat. All right, friends, these have been my top 3 favorite double New England style IPAs. If you haven't tried all of these out, and you like the New England style or you're curious about it, I think you should make a point to get your hands on any one of these. I mean, this one's a mixture, so you'd have to make that on your own. So have you had any of these? Have you had all of these? Let me know which is your favorite in the comments down below this video, and let me know what you thought about them. I'm really digging all the conversations about beer that have been going on in the comments below my videos. So while you're down there, why not like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more updates? I put videos out twice a week about Michigan beer and only Michigan beer. If you got friends that like beer or Michigan beer, you should tell them to subscribe too. Why not? You can also find links to my social media and my blog at drafttherapy.com in the description below this video. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy saying thanks for stopping by. And remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.